So the worst thing just happened to me. Now, I shouldn't say the worst thing, but something just happened. I recorded for 45 minutes for this video, and then I realized I never turned my microphone on. So I'm recording this for the second time today, which is terrible. 45 minutes of my life gone. But guys, you need to have this information for this weekend's final order cutoff. So I'm gonna do this again. So let's go ahead and get this video started right now. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel. Now, this is my second time recording this video, so I'm probably gonna go over this intro a little bit faster than I did the last video, but you guys didn't see it because there was no audio on it. So this is Final Order Cutoff, recommendations and speculation. This is the video where I go over all the books on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff, trying to find all the cool covers, all the cool number ones, all the ongoing series that I think you guys need to be making sure that is on your pull list, and any books that have a little something in the guts for speculation. So that is this video. Now, Final Order Cutoff. There is some information that I'm going to share with you if you guys don't know what Final Order Cutoff is, if you're new to this type of collecting. For anyone else who has seen this video series before and is a seasoned veteran, guys, go right ahead, and there are timestamps down in the description below. You guys can skip right ahead to Final Order Cutoff cover lever picks. But if you're new to Final Order Cutoff, stick around and I'm going to cover some quick things for you guys. Now, the first thing that we're going to cover is this weekend's Final Order Cutoff order deadline dates, which is this Monday, September 30th of 2024. Now, I have heard in the Discord, which is linked down in the description below, that a lot of local comic book shops and some online retailers actually like to have their Final Order Cutoff orders locked in by Sunday, which would be the 29th. So keep that in mind. Do your own research. Find out when your shop is actually locking in their Final Order Cutoff and what website you're using will depend on when they need their orders in by. Now, the next thing that I need you guys to know is that I do record this video early because I'm recording it on Thursday, September 26th of 2024, and DC Comics, Marvel Comics, and all the independent publishers have until Friday, which is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, to lock in what actual books are going to be on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. So that means they can add or remove books. So there could be a book that I show you on today's video that is actually not on Final Order Cutoff, or there might be a book that you're like, Bruce, how did you miss this book? And that is because they added it after I recorded this video. Now, the final thing that I let you guys know is that there is a 20%, even a 35% discount that you can get by pre-ordering these books. But that discount is only going to apply to open order books. All ratio books usually go for ratio price or even more on Final Order Cutoff. You can save on those books if you order them on New Comic Book Day from mycomicbookshop.com, but they will not come at that 20 to 35% on Final Order Cutoff. All right, guys, that is all the information. Let's go ahead and dive into all the amazing covers because there are so many that are on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. All right, guys, there are so many really great covers, and we're going to kick this off with 4 covers for Hello Darkness issue number 4. And these are all the covers that are available to order for this book, and I think they are all worthy of showing to you guys. Now, first up is the cover A. It's done by Paulo Rivera, and all the cover A's for this book has been fantastic. Just look at this cover. She's gorgeous. You got these really cool skeleton hands welcoming her into the water. It's so cool. Now, after that is the cover B. It's done by Jenny Frison, and the terror in this person's eyeball is just there. You can feel it. It is so good. Next up is the cover C. It's done by Jay Shaw. How creepy is this cover? And what is really cool, someone down in the Discord actually knows this person and is friends with them, and that is just so cool. The Discord is such a great place of knowledge. The last cover is the cover D. This is done by Fraser Irving. It's a Halloween cover, and it is so good. The next up is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 0. Now, there are going to be other covers to this book on the series, but they're going to be later. They're going to be down below because I didn't see them until later when I was making the script for this video. But the first one I got to show you guys is the cover B in the 1 in 10 version and the 1 in 50 black and white version done by Jenny Frison. It is so good. So good. I love this cover. And after that is Detective Comics issue number 1090. This is the cover C. It's done by Bruno Redondo. It's a little different. It's not just our normal full body Batman looking like an absolute badass. No, it's like a super close up of Batman with like very little details, but also really freaking cool. Bruno Redondo is such a talented artist, and he's gonna be at New York Comic Con, and I'm gonna try to meet him because he's such a cool guy. All right, guys, next up is one of my favorite artists. This is The Flash, issue number 14, with the cover B done by Dyke Rowan. And what is really cool is that he's doing a series of covers for The Flash, so the next like 3 or 4 issues all have a cover by Dyke Rowan, and they're all so good. The next up is Power Girl, issue number 14. There are 2 covers that I really like for this book. First up is the cover B. It's done by Miguel Mercado, and it is awesome. What I really like about this cover is that she looks super powerful and super strong, but look at that face. She's so gorgeous, and what I think is really great is her hand is actually covering her cleavage, and she's like kind of flexing her bicep, and it's big and bulging and veining, and it's just, you're focusing more on her powerfulness than the sex appeal of her giant boobs. It's so well done. I love this cover. Now, this next cover is a true booty and boob cover. It is so good. This is the cover C, done by Simon DeMeo. It does have a little bit of an anime feel to it, but it is a really great cover. Did I pre-order both of these? You know I did. All right, guys, next up are 4 covers for Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 1. Now, there are more covers, and I'm going to say that in general. Guys, make sure you're doing your own research on final order cutoff. There are so many covers that I don't talk about, that I personally don't like, that I'm not sharing with you guys. But you guys are probably going to like a lot of them. So go on the websites that are linked down in the description below. Check out all the amazing covers. Make sure you're pre-ordering any book that you really want, because there are so many good ones. But let's get back to Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 1. The first cover that I really like is the cover D. It's done by Jeff DeCall. Man, Jeff DeCall like took the ball and like crushed it out of the park. It's like a super home run. This cover is absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's got like a design feel to it, fashion sense, everything. Great cover. Next up is my favorite for Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 1. This is the cover F. It's the 1:25 ratio variant done by Dan Panosian. So good. Now, he is doing an exclusive for Midtown Comics that we're going to cover in just a second. But next up is the KRS Comics foil exclusive cover done by Sozo Micah. It's great. It's really great. I don't love that it's an exclusive. I wish this is a cover for the main series that you could pick up, but I like it. What I don't like is like her face kind of has like a dead feel to it. Like it's like she's just like looking off into the space, and it's like a deadpan. Or if you look at the 1:25, she's got like this intensity in her eyes, and she's just like gonna kill you. So good. Next up is the Midtown Comics exclusive cover done by Dan Panosian. So this is the same artist as the 1:25, and she looks amazing and epic. And that sword, I was gonna say shield, sword is epic. But there's something about her face. I don't know. I don't like it as much as the 1:25. Will I pick up both? I'm probably going to pick up all 5 of these covers. But either way, they're so good, all the covers. The next up is Green Lantern Dark, issue number 1. Now, this is the cover C. It's done by David Nakayama, and it's fantastic. But it's not my favorite cover for this series. No. Next up is the cover E for Green Lantern Dark, issue number 1. This is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Dan Jurgens. And when I hear Green Lantern Dark, I don't see the David Nakayama character. No, I see this one by Dan Jurgens. She's like dark and brooding, and she looks like she could kill you. That's what it looks like, and it's such a great cover. The next up is a gorgeous Adam Hughes. This is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 60 with the variant in the 1/100 Virgin variant. Again, done by Adam Hughes. But the trade dress is 100% better because you get the word bubbles, you get what they're saying. It's hilarious, it's fantastic. And if you guys didn't notice because you were too busy staring at the gigantic black cat boobs, Spider-Man is down in the corner looking through the window. Thank you, Ghost, from the Discord for pointing that out. So good. All right, guys, next up is another cover for The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 60. Now, this is done by Patrick Gleason. It is not a sexy cover, but it's full of energy and action and Spider-Man punching Green Goblin, and there's pumpkin bombs, and they actually look like jack-o'-lanterns, so it's a nice like Halloween-esque type cover full of energy and explosions. It's so good. It is so good in my opinion. I love this cover, and this is a cover I'm definitely going to try to pick up. Now guys, next up is Captain America, issue number 14, but with the Doom variant. Again, done by Dan Panosian. That's 3 covers on this list that he's been on, but this one is epic. Look at all the blood coming down Captain America's shield. Doom, what did you do to Cap? It looks like you freaking killed him is what it looks like. All right, guys, next up is 3 covers for Psylocke issue number 1. The first one is done by Mumad as Ra. I'm probably totally butchering your name. I apologize because I love your art. And he's also going to be at New York Comic Con on Friday, and I cannot wait to meet this young man. It's going to be a pleasure of mine. I'm going to have like a stack of books for him to sign, and I can't wait. That one is going to be the what's the girl with the green hair? But she's like drinking a cup of coffee, and someone down in the Discord was like, "Hey, Bruce, you gotta have him like sign the cup. Like it's like a Starbucks cup." And I was like, that is so genius. I'm definitely gonna do that. I cannot wait. I have like 3 of those covers. But the next cover, let's get back to Final Order Cutoff. Next up is Psylocke issue number 1, the 1:25 ratio variant done by Yasmin Putri. I love this cover for the energy. Psylocke is like on top of this guy, stabbing him with his side sword. So good. And then this next cover up, I put it on for the people. I personally don't love this cover, but I know a lot of you guys are. This is the variant cover in the 1/100 Virgin variant for Psylocke issue number 1, done by Art Germ. Just like that Wonder Woman Side Souls of Micah cover, she looks kind of like dead-faced. Like, I don't know. There's something like, just like, she doesn't have a soul. That's what it looks like to me. All right, guys, there are 4 more covers left. Next up is FML, which I believe is going to stand for F My Life. But this is the cover E. It's a 1:25 ratio variant done by Pepe Larraz. Pepe Larraz on an independent, hell freaking yes. The other independent that I know he did was Big Game, which is a big crossover event for the Millerverse. So good. But this one right here is going to be a book by Kelly Sue DeConnick, and he's not on the interiors. The interiors are going to be done by David Lopez. We're going to talk about this book with the new number 1. So let's go ahead and continue. Next up is Grommets issue number 5. This is the cover B. It's the 1:10 ratio variant done by Brett Parsons. Almost every single 1:10 for this book has been absolutely fantastic. And this one is an homage to Mrs. Robinson, I believe is the name of the movie. But if you're not reading this book, read this book. Now, next up, we're back to Something is Killing the Children, issue number 0. Now, this is the cover J. It's the 1:200 ratio variant done by Sean Murphy. Now, what is going on with the independents bringing Sean Murphy in to do these high ratio covers that they know I cannot afford? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 1. He was on the 1:500 ratio variant. 1:500! How can I afford that? But guys, someone in the Discord did pick up the 1:500 from another member of the Discord yesterday for a great price. Guys, join the Discord. It's where it's at. But this one by Sean Murphy is just, it's so good. Now guys, the final cover that I really like is probably a cover that not a lot of people are going to love like I do, but this is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 0 with the cover L, which I believe is the Final Order Cutoff Revealed Virgin variant done by Chris Bachalo. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it's so good. I love this guy. I wish he was going to be at New York Comic Con so I can bring like my stack of books. I probably couldn't afford that stack of books that much because he's probably like $10 per signature. So a small, tiny stack of my favorite covers by him. He's such a great artist. And this cover with the vibrant, the action, the motion. I love that his Octo or her Octo stuffed animal that contains the soul of a demon is in there. It's so good. All right, guys, those are all the covers that I absolutely love that is on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. Let's go ahead and move over to the few books that I found that have a little something in the guts for speculation. All right, guys, there were 3 books that I found that had a little something in the guts. Before we dive into these books, I just got to remind you guys, check out the Comic Book Frontier, a fantastic Facebook group run by my good friend Al. That he is a great Final Order Cutoff speculator, and he updates his information all the way up until the order deadline date, so you guys can keep an eye on that for any updates. Now, there also is coverprice.com that has an article written by Lefteros. Lefteros also is on Instagram, and he does his article in his posts I believe every Saturday, and they are fantastic. They are much better speculators than I am, but I like to dig around. I like to little dabble in my little speculation, so I'm going to share with you guys the things that I found right now. First up, we got Detective Comics issue number 1090. Now, this is the start of Tom Taylor and Mikhail Janen's run on Detective Comics. Now, this is possibly going to have the first cameo appearance of Asme, a vigilante mentioned in issue number 1091. Now, a vigilante is a good guy, mostly. So, this character could be cool, and if they are cool enough, that could be a good spec pick, because vigilantes or heroes always do better than villains. Just keep that in mind. All right, guys, next up is Green Lantern Dark, issue number 1, with the first appearance of Rena Mori, a Green Lantern in a post-apocalyptic future overrun by Solomon Grundy's zombie army. Also, the first appearance of Lunette. Lunette? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it doesn't matter. There's the first appearance of that character. Her name is right there. The protege of Rena. Pretty cool. Next up is Phases of the Moon Knight, issue number 3, with 2 first appearances. We're going to have our first appearance of a manga-inspired Moon Knight, and we're also going to have the first appearance of a new Fist of Khonshu. Now, these Phases of the Moon Knight books have 2 stories in them, written by 2 different creative teams, and they are featuring mostly new Moon Knight characters. All right, guys, that is all the books that had something in the guts. Let's go ahead and move over to all the ongoing series or all the mini-series that are currently in the middle of their run that I think you guys should be picking up if you're not already. But if you are, and maybe you missed out on them, I'm telling you, they're coming. So get them on your pull list. All right, so many good books, guys. So we're gonna go through this as quickly as possible. First up is Grommets issue number 5. We're getting so close to the end. It's so sad because this book is so great. Coming from the great writers of Rick Remender, Brian Posehn, and art by Mernero Dionisio and Brett Parsons. If you like coming of age stories, this book is filled with nostalgia. It happens in, like, I believe, the late 70s, early 80s, and these 2 teenagers growing up, going through all the things that we go through as teenagers. It's fantastic. So good, and the art by Brett Parsons and Mernero Dionisio is like fan-freaking-tastic. Next up, The Moon is Following Us, issue number 2, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, DWJ, and art by Riley Rossmo. Have to buy it. You have to. It's DWJ. He's such a fantastic writer. Now, I have not got my copy of issue number 1, so I have not read it, but the Discord has read it, and they're raving about it. So read it. Pick it up. Issue number 2 on final order cutoff. Next up, Rook Exodus, issue number 6. Writer Jeff Johns, art by Jason Fabok, Ghost Machine. You see the little label on the cover that says Ghost Machine? Pick it up. They're amazing stories, and this one is like so freaking cool. Way off into the future, humans have to leave Earth. We terraform this planet. We wear these helmets where we can kind of control the animals that we bring with us, and then the Earth starts to fall apart, and then the people that are left are fighting for control of the planet and fighting with these helmets that control these animals. It's really cool. Really good. All right, guys, next up is Void Rivals, issue number 13. This world is starting to come together because Void Rivals was the first part of the Energon universe, and Energon universe, in case you did not know, is Transformers, G.I. Joe, and I think that's it so far. I can't remember. I'm like recording this video for the second time. I'm a little frazzled, but Cobra Commander, one of the characters from the Cobra bad guy verse, is coming on to Void Rivals. So we're getting a little bit of that into this, and I cannot wait. It's gonna be so good. And if you have not read this series, it's amazing. Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici, freaking amazing. Next up, everyone has to be picking up Something is Killing the Children, issue number 0, written by James Tynion IV, art by Werther Dell'Edera. If you haven't read the series, pick up the omnibus. You can't pick up all the single issues because the early ones go for so much money, but pick up the trades, get caught up. This series is the best. It's so good. Next up, Superman, issue number 19. This is a great issue to dive into. It's the all-in launching point, so guys can dive into this. But Joshua Williamson has been writing this book since issue number 1 of this new Superman ongoing, and it's been so stinking good. We've had Jamal Campbell on art. We've had some fill-in artists for him during his run, that 18-issue run, but Dan Mora is going to be the new artist with Joshua Williamson in. It's going to be so stinking good. Next up is the final issue of Zatanna, Bring Down the House, issue number 5. This is from the writer of Mariko Tamaki and art by Javier Rodriguez. Now, with this being the final issue, you can probably wait for this to come out and trade and read it, but I highly suggest you do. It's a great Black Label retelling of the origin of Zatanna. It is so cool and so great, and the art by Javier Fernandez is so amazing. Next book is Kaya, issue number 22. Obviously, this is the 22nd issue of this series. It's going to be very difficult for you guys to dive into this series, but this is one of the better ongoing independent titles. We're on issue number 22. This is written and drawn by Wes Craig. It's been fantastic the whole entire time. It's such a cool story. Read it. Next up, The Magic Order, Volume 5, issue number 2, Mark Miller, Matteo Buffagini, adult magic, badassery, so cool. Read the first volumes, dive into this. It's like Harry Potter, like on crack, but adults. No school, but just adult magicians throwing it down. So good. The final book is Nightclub, Volume 2, issue number 3. Again, teenagers, vampires, going through teenage stuff, trying to be YouTubers, trying to be superheroes, doing things completely backwards because they're teenagers and they don't have the knowledge of being adults. So good. Coming of age stuff with vampires and teenagers and superheroes and stuff. So good. So good. All right, guys. Those were the ongoing or in the middle of a mini-series, the series that I think you guys have to be picking up and knowing about. But there are 3 new #1s on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff that I think you guys have to be picking up because the story sounds so good. All right, guys, 3 books, and we're gonna kick this off with the Absolute Universe, with Absolute Wonder Woman issue #1. Now, in case you guys did not know, the Absolute Universe was created from the negative energy of Darkseid. So just think of that planet and what it's gonna entail for all the heroes that are on that planet. They're gonna have to be completely different, and they are. Let's go ahead and read the synopsis for this book. Actually, the creative team on this book is Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. It's gonna be a great book. It's gonna be a great book. But let's read the synopsis. Eisner winner Kelly Thompson and breakout artist Hayden Sherman reinvent Wonder Woman from the ground up. Without the Island of Paradise, without the sisterhood that shaped her, without a mission of peace, what's left is Absolute Wonder Woman. I mean, I'm all in. I'm all in on all the Absolute books. I'm so excited for them. Now, I believe we are going to get other Absolute characters, and the one that I am most excited about is Absolute Flash. I think that could be so cool. Get Dyke Ruan to do the interiors and the covers. I mean, that's like a wet dream right there. But guys, let me know down in the comments below what Absolute book that you would be most excited about to hear launched outside of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. Flash is mine. Let me know yours down in the description below, or down in the comments below. All right, guys, next up is Green Lantern Dark issue #1. Now, this is coming from the creative team of Tate Brombel and has art by Werther Daldera. That's right, Something is Killing the Children. Star artist Werther Daldera is on a DC book, and it's an Elseworld Tale book, and I cannot wait. But let's go ahead and read the synopsis. On a post-apocalyptic Earth overrun by monsters, the battle between good and evil ended long ago, and evil won. Now darkness prevails as humanity struggles to survive in the corrupted wasteland that remains. Only one hero is said to haunt what's left of our shadowed cities, the one who wields the magical green flame that can return light to a dark world, the Green Lantern. But she's been missing for years on the isolated island of New England, which is where I grew up. I grew up in New England, not on an isolated island, but I grew up in New Hampshire. That's part of New England. But she's on an island, I think, called New England, or of New England. Solomon Grundy's undead army only grows larger and more powerful every night. Celebrated horror artist, a smash hit, Something is Killing the Children, Werther Daldera teams with rising star writer Tate Brombel from House of Slaughter to bring you a chilling tale of desperation, hope, and resurrection from the bitter remains of the fan favorite Tangent Universe. Now, I don't remember the Tangent Universe, but I don't care. I cannot wait to read this book. I think it's going to be fantastic. Now, the final book that we're going to talk about is an independent. It's called FML issue #1. I believe that's going to stand for F My Life. But this is coming from the creative team of Kelly Sue DeConnick and have art by David Lopez. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I've ever read anything by Kelly Sue DeConnick, but guys, I'm going to dive into this one because I'm pretty excited about it. But let's go ahead and read the synopsis. Riley is a teen that sketches out his heavy metal future with a ballpoint pen between monster movies and band practice. But musical stardom needs to compete with high school, the temper of a former Riot Girl mother, the morbid obsession of a goth sister, and the eccentricities of bandmates that threaten to drive him and everyone around him insane. The balance gets harder after a ritual during a party in Portland's Forest Park causes him to wake up one day to discover that the creatures, witchcraft, and metal world he obsessed with may be a bit closer to home than he preferred. A brand new creator-owned series from the team that brought you Captain Marvel features bonus material exclusive to the single issues only, such as essays on music, true crime, interviews, and more. But this sounds kind of like a coming-of-age story, and I am all about those. Ask Stephanie. I freaking love when I see a trailer for a coming-of-age TV show or movie. I get so excited. because those just like resonate with me. I don't know. I'm 44, but I love teenage drama so much. I don't know why. I don't like my kids' drama. I find it highly annoying. But when I read about it or see it on the big screen and I see these kids growing up and like succeeding, even though I do love when my kids succeed, obviously, but the stories and movies, they just resonate so well with me, and I'm pretty pumped for this. Add in some monsters and witches and metal. Let's freaking go. Now, obviously, I've already shown you that amazing 1 in 25 by Pepe Larraz, but the other covers that I've shown during the reading of this synopsis are also really, really great. But guys, that is it. I actually recorded this 15 minutes faster than the last one, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. We're at the end! For the second time for me, the first view. But this is the end, the final part of this video, and I'd like to take this moment and thank every single one of you who have oh my god, I'm all over the place, have watched from the beginning of this video all the way to the point right now in the video. Now I gotta ask you, before I call you guys what I always call you for watching so long of this video, do me a favor. Smash that like button. It helps the channel out so much. Now, after you have smashed that like button, I'll tell you, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for being such great supporters of the channel. Now I want to ask, if you're new to the channel and you guys watch that video and you enjoy comic book content, especially like new comic book day content, final order cutoff content, or previews highlights content, I like looking off into the future. I'm not someone who likes to speculate on old books or even look in the past. I'm always looking to the future. I'm always looking at the new hot artists, the new hot books, and if that interests you, stick around. Make sure you guys are getting yourself subscribed, hitting that bell for notifications, and smashing that like button. All right, 2 updates for you guys. 1, next week, Stephanie and I are sitting down and recording a video. For anyone who's never been to a comic book convention, it's gonna be your tips and tricks for your first ever comic book convention, because someone who's never been to a convention like Stephanie doesn't know what they're walking into. And walking into New York Comic Con, the second or third biggest convention in the United States, it can be daunting knowing there's gonna be thousands and thousands of people there. And some people aren't people person like Stephanie and I. Some people are like, a little bit more reserved. You should have this information going into a con, knowing what you need to prepare for, knowing what you need to do. It's gonna be informative for anyone who's never been to a convention before. So that's gonna be a great video. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's also gonna be Stephanie's first time on a video in almost a year. Now the second thing that I need to let you guys know about is coming the first Friday, I believe, in November, Comics and Beer. Now if you've never heard that, you don't know what that is. But if you have, Comics and Beer is a live stream that we did over 100 episodes. I believe 103 we have done. And we're coming back and we're gonna try to make this a weekly live stream. Now, obviously, we're a couple with 3 kids and life is busy. Kids and family will always come first. So I cannot guarantee this is gonna be an every Friday type of live stream, but we're gonna do our best to do it every Friday around 9 p.m. Eastern on Fridays for the foreseeable future. Because we wanna get back into a rhythm and a groove. She misses being part of the community and she's gonna be back and it's gonna be freaking awesome. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Those are everything for this week. I'm super excited for the future. I am super annoyed at myself for having to record this video twice, but that's okay. But guys, have yourself a great weekend, a great final order cutoff. Get prepped for next Monday with my Tuesday video, which is the Wednesday pull list. So have yourself a great weekend. I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Peace.